walkthrough of an Overland 2500 full-size truck. Hell yeah, let's go. Alright guys, so today I'm here with Micah. He runs the Oregon_trail Instagram handle, so you can find him there and his truck build there. And so he brought his 2020 Ram 2500 with a Cummins that he's kitted out to be overland ready. And he just came back from a trip from Utah where they took on trails like Top of the World and Hell's Revenge. Tell us a little bit about your build.
So it's like you said, it's a 2020 Ram 2500. It started life bone stock, 20 miles. It's a long bed, which isn't the most popular choice for overland builds in general, but I really didn't buy the truck planning to build it. It really just kind of happened, and now that I have it though, I love it. It definitely scrapes on stuff a little more than a short bed would, but hauls the family's treasures around.
So you were telling me that you just got into overlanding, that basically you would, if you didn't like it by the end of the year, or you told your wife if you didn't like it by the end of the year, you'd sell the tent and everything else that went along with it. Is this your first truck that you've kind of built and kitted out to be off-road capable?
It is. It really is. So under the hood, I have a switch controller. It's an alternative to Switch Pros, a little cheaper, but so far it's been working really good. I've had it on my build for a couple months, done the Utah trip along with down to California, and it's done everything I needed it to. On this side, I actually have all my system to charge a third battery. Apparently the battery I got went bad on our trip, and so it ended up doing me pretty much no good out in Utah, and I ended up running all my fridges and everything off my main 2 batteries. We'll see what the future is for this setup, but it stays.
So over here on the front, it looks like you have a custom bumper with winch and
yeah, custom bumper by Chassis Unlimited. This is their Octane series. It's real low profile, super compact. I really like that it protects the intercooler. As you can see, I've scraped it a few times. Hasn't dented or deformed because I've taken some pretty hard hits on this. It's paint matched to the truck. And here I have a Smittybilt 12K winch. It's a little undersized for the size of the truck as far as winches go, but a couple snatch blocks kind of take care of my worries there. Got a Factor 55 flat link on it and a bunch of Baja design squadrons. Out in Utah, I was on a stock ride suspension. I just had a spacer level kit in it, so nothing really was done with it, and that's how I've been running it for the past year or so. I just did a Carly 3 1/4 inch lift. I have some Bilstein's shocks up in the front there. Along with, I'm sitting on some Fuel 20-inch covert wheels with 37s. Once these wear down, I'll be switching up my tire wheel combo quite a bit.
Why do you want to switch up your tire wheel combo?
Really for better performance and on-trail comfort. 37s on even a 17 will offer a lot better ride off-road, along with just have better, thicker sidewalls to collapse and be able to air down more. With these 20s, I have a picture on my Instagram that literally shows my front tire at 20 psi being squished flat. Anyway, so I wouldn't want to air down any less unless I was on real soft sand or something.
How heavy do you think your truck is?
I know, fully loaded with everybody in it for our trip, we were at, with 10 gallons of water, we're at 10.6.
All right, then going down the side, I noticed you have amp steps.
Yeah, I have amp running boards. Again, these are one of the investments I made before I really got into overlanding. I like having the step. I like having them quite a bit. Overall, I've been lucky not to get any real rocker damage so far, and so I need to switch those out for some sliders.
Coming back here, you have a set of Max Tracks.
Yeah, I have my Max Tracks. I just have 2 of them. I'd like to get another 2. I haven't had very good luck with just a set of 2. The only times I've ever needed them is in snow and mud, and both times a set of 2 of them. I just couldn't get enough traction to get out of the hole I was in, so I ended up having to winch, and I used the Max Trax along with the winch. Then I have my Rhino-Rack Batwing awning. That's nice. It doesn't get used. My awning doesn't get used a ton. It's a pretty decent awning. It's not my favorite one in the world. I wish I would spend a little bit more money. That would be something that would be freestanding and a little bit more robust. But they do send a couple replacement parts if the hinges snap, because they are plastic.
If you fold it out, you have to have the legs down, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Have to have the legs down, which that's not super inconvenient, but because it's not as stout as it could be, it uses all these plastic pieces that go into there. Yeah. And if the wind catches it, it'll pull the awning up and snap those. They include replacements because it's a common issue. And then up top, I have a Smittybilt Overland XL tent. Again, we were, kind of hesitant to enter it, so we went ahead and went a little cheap on our tent, just because we weren't sure if we were going to be keeping it longer than this last summer. Ultimately we did, and definitely would like a nicer tent now. I'm not a proponent, nor am I sponsored by Smittybilt, but I think like you said, they have a really good value for the low price point. And if you're just wanting to get in without breaking the bank and getting your feet wet, well, it's a pretty decent option. I think it's one of the best options you can find at that price point. Yeah, for their smaller tents under $1,000. This one's just over $1,000. Right. It's a pretty good quality for the comparatively to the products that are out there that are $2,000 for a soft top. Yeah. But it's not without their flaws and their setbacks. It's rough around the edges and some of the build quality. The biggest thing I have an issue with is the cover, and I can't get Smittybilt to get back to me about finding a replacement for it. Right here I have my Dead Man Off-Road, and I also just store tree savers and shackles in it as well in the bag. Nice. And then you have a couple antennas up here? Yeah, so we have a GMRS antenna that goes to my Midland radio, and then we have the WeBoost cell booster. Has it worked for you? Oh, okay. It's worked pretty good for me. You get in and around mountains, I've noticed that you find a dead spot and it's dead. Yeah. But I've really found it works the best out in desert areas, or anywhere that's just not super mountainous like it is kind of around here. Right. Because around here you get up on top of a hill, you might have one bar, you jump in your truck and you have full service. Right. But you get down into a nice valley and you won't have anything. Out in the desert, I've found that it's pretty rare to get absolutely zero service, just because it's so flat. And the WeBoost will boost it up so you have 4G and you have pretty much all the connectivity you want. Yeah. What kind of rack is this here, and has it been holding up to the standards that you thought it would? So this is a KB Voodoo rack. They call it their Max Modular. Basically, it's an adjustable rack, and I bought it mainly so I could have a tonneau cover, because it has these brackets that let you use a bed cover along with it. It has held up really good. It's been more than durable, more than tough. Holds the tent, everything fine. Going down the trail, I'll notice it flex around a little bit, right. But I haven't had anything crack or anything. So moving on to the back here, you've got you were telling me this is a custom built slide out that you made? Yeah, so I built this slide out. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a follower of mine. He reached out, told me what I was wanting to do. This is kind of a quick and dirty version. I made out of 16th inch aluminum. With the bed cover, I have very low clearance. I ended up even having to trim out a piece of aluminum just to make it give me more clearance for my fridge. It's been pretty good for being a thin metal and really a first attempt at this. I used AlumaWeld, which is basically aluminum solder, to attach it all together, and it's not the cleanest process. It worked. Since then, I've gotten an AC/DC welder, and so I will actually be making a new one and have it all welded, and that should be much nicer, along with being made out of actual 1/8 inch material. Nice. On top of it, I have my Dometic 75 liter dual zone fridge. It's not their newest model, and it's a little dirty inside, but it's worked good. We really enjoyed having it. This last trip was our first one with the fridge, and it worked really nice. It was far nicer than using a cooler, which is what we've used in the past. Also built into the slide, I have these front runner WolfPac boxes.
Wow, WolfPac-Outdoors! Wow!
Yeah, so we have the WolfPacs, and I've really enjoyed those. We just got them for this last trip. Before that, I've just been using, you know, Walmart action packers. They fit into the slide nicely, and this way I don't have to always get into the truck just to get out a couple cases. They slide right out with the fridge, which is very nice. We still have a couple things, you know, stove, just a basic 3-burner propane stove. I run that off of an actual barbecue tank. I don't have it here today, but it just has a hose that runs up from the front of the bed.
Okay.
And that works nicely.
What's this? You got a black thing up there. That
So
black tube.
that is kind of like, it's a little solar shower. For the most part, I just use it for non-potable water. You know, washing dishes and stuff. It holds about 4 gallons. Yeah, so the rear bumper it's a Chassis Unlimited dual swing. They just came out with this. This particular one is their high clearance version. They have a regular non-bed cut version. I wanted the extra armor for some of the trails we're going to be tackling. So it has places for squadrons or any kind of 4-inch, you know, LED pod. I don't have anything there now. It uses pretty hefty swings and latches, so it's not a bunch of pins. Close it up and it stays pretty secure.
Is it modular? You could put, they make like different attachments for the back here. You don't have to run a tire or cans.
Right now they don't have pretty much anything besides a tire mount. I ordered a C4 fabrication one and it wasn't going to be here in time, so I tacked this one up real quick, and that mount, that jerry can mount, is now sitting in my garage, ready to go on. Opening these is pretty simple. We press on the button, pull the latch, and they open right up. It's all spring loaded, so it just clicks into place.
Sounds like it has a strut in there too.
It doesn't, no.
But
No,
it that sound?
I believe it's just from the bearings.
Oh, okay. So there's nothing providing resistance from it just swinging open?
No, there really isn't.
Oh.
The only nice thing is that it clicks in with that before it swings too far.
Right.
It does sound like it, and they, for the most part, open fairly controlled until you have a 100-pound tire on it. Then they can not always be as cooperative. They use a trailer spindle in here is what they use, so it's pretty heavy duty as far as durability goes. I have hit this bumper. I've came down on fins and things, and Hell's Revenge, and scraped back corners.
Okay.
And so it's plenty tough.
Yeah, you were saying this is a high clearance, but I didn't pay attention earlier to actually it is a true high clearance bumper.
Yeah.
So you literally cut the rear panel of your fender to fit the high clearance bumper.
It does retain the soft open on the tailgate, and basically what that does is means this back section right through here is actually still there. I just cut the bottom off of it, and so it meets up just about to the bottom of the actual bumper down here.
Oh, okay.
And because there's a strut in there that has to stay, and so if you go too high clearance, you're going to lose that. Yeah, I have a shovel and an axe on this side. You know, you always need a shovel, especially when you're out in the wild.
Yeah, no kidding.
Axe is good for chopping wood, along with just about anything else you could do with it.
Zombie apocalypse is what I think of when I see an axe. Yeah, I saw your compressor hose out the back. Do you want to tell me about your compressor?
So the compressor is it's made to, you know, fill tanks for air horns. So it's not the most powerful compressor, but it was fairly affordable.
Mm-hmm.
So far it's worked fine. You know, usually I drop down to about 20 psi and they air back up to about 35 or 40. It sits underneath the basically where the spare wheel is, just underneath the bed.
Well, Micah, I really appreciate you showing me your truck today. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you guys want to check him out, it's Oregon_trail at Instagram, and you can check out all of his build details there. And I'm going to go ahead and leave links down below so you can find his Instagram really easy. We're also going to leave links down below so you can find some of the equipment that he has on his truck for your vehicle. I'm Huston with WolfPac-Outdoors. I'll holler at you later.